Morning everybody. So today is Tuesday and I thought I would finally film a new vlog on my new camera. I'm very excited about it, as you can tell from all of the shenanigans, but today I really wanted to have a writing day, mostly because last night I was kept up in debilitating anxiety about taking so long to finish my book. And I obviously know that there's nothing wrong with taking your time with finishing your book. I personally am always trying to be an advocate for taking your time with drafting, but for some reason last night I was just so anxious about not finishing my book that I felt like kind of compelled to write it today. I don't know if that's a good thing or not, like whether or not I'm just doing it to appease my anxiety, but I wanted to work on feeding habits nonetheless. And so today I'm going to log on. I have a few other things to do. I have to edit some Christmas photos that I took of my family, and I have some Christmas presents to finish making. So, and like start making in general. Right now I am on a scene that I know is going wrong. I am writing with the boys in a chapter called Something Held. It's chapter 9. I know I took a wrong turn, but I don't really know what else to do, so I'm trying to like fix what I know is incorrect. However, I don't know where else I can go in these stories, so I'm kind of like stuck between a rock and a hard place. I talked about this in my recent Q&A, like I know as a pantser when I've taken the wrong path. But at this point, I'm like, I don't really know what else to do. So like, maybe I can revise the wrong path. That usually doesn't work, but I'm gonna try anyway. Hi, Winston, say hello. Hi, Winston. Hi, Winston. Good boy. Say hello. Hi, everyone. So it's been a few hours since I last updated you, and it's about... Winston. Bulldog tings. It's just before 2 o'clock and I have some administrative work that I need to do for feeding habits. So by administrative work, I mean I need to finish the outline that I've been working for feeding habits. I thought I had a lot more of the outline done. I'm a pantser, but I like to go and re-outline my books like after I'm like done a chapter, just because I forget things. I don't have a very good memory with my book. Ask me what happened in any book that I wrote and I won't know. So I do it after the fact and allegedly am supposed to do it while I'm writing, but apparently I didn't even finish chapter 2's outline and I'm almost done chapter 9. Thankfully, on my blog, I do scene breakdowns, which are essentially outlines. They're a little less detailed, but they're essentially an outline. So I'll have that as my base so I don't have to go and like look through the book itself, which is good for me. I just need a better idea of what I need in terms of plot for feeding habits to take me to the end. So I just want to look at like threads that were introduced, threads that I need to just go back to because I just forgot. Hi everybody, so it's been a few hours since I updated you. I just finished the outline for feeding habits. One thing I hate about writing is that it just sucks out the life of your day. Like the whole day is gone when you write. Like it truly takes so much time to write. Like it was just 12 o'clock and now it's like 3 and like I drafted a little bit of feeding habits. It's just like 2 short half scenes almost. They're like paragraphs. They're teeny tiny, like 2 to 3 sentences each of the boys being super chaotic and they're being gross. It's just like, ew. Obviously, of course, I just write disgusting things, so why wouldn't they be doing gross things? Hello, you have to excuse my wet hair. I'm styling my hair and this is what it looks like when it's wet. Right now I'm going to work on a short story, just editing it and submitting it, called Phantom Limbs. I have a whole vlog documenting it from like my high school me to like current me, and so I finished it in the summer. and I just kind of left it there. I wasn't sure if I was going to submit it to workshop or not, but I don't think I'm going to submit it to workshop. I think I'm just going to see if I can edit it myself, kind of do some self-critique, and then potentially submit it to a magazine. I'm going to go check out what magazines I don't have workout at already and what magazines seem like they might be a good fit for this story, and then I'm going to submit. So I think I've mentioned how I revise short stories on here before, but basically what I do is I just reread the story. And often to reread the story, I will listen to it. I don't actually like read it by myself. I will get like the word narrator to read it for me, and I am going to just take notes. Usually I just take like jot something down of things that just need revising, and then after that I will go on a first pass, make as many of those changes as possible, then make another pass to refine those changes or add more changes that I see fit, like that I found on the first pass, and I just continue that until I get to like a line level edit where I don't have as many structural edits to do. Hi everyone, so I wanted to make a little vlog update. I haven't vlogged on here in a while. The last time I vlogged about writing was for a different video. I'm not even sure if I'm going to upload it, but I was really sad boy and not feeling good at all about writing. I was really unhappy with how my process was going. I was really unhappy with how I was feeling while I was writing, and so I was really struggling to actually get myself to write Feeding Habits because it has just been a painful, unenjoyable experience. The next day, I was still feeling a little bit upset about how writing was going, but I told myself, okay, I'm gonna try to find a solution. I reread about a chapter and a half of Feeding Habits. I didn't actually read it. I had a robot read it to me just so I could feel really immersed in the chapter, and that really helped just make me understand where I was with the book and how the characters were feeling. Writing right now is just difficult in general because I don't write often, and it becomes really difficult to keep track of how characters are feeling. And I'm a very intimate drafter. I am incredibly there with my characters, and so it can become almost impossible to write properly when I don't remember how the characters are feeling. Again, I'm a pantser, so I'm not really somebody who knows everything at all times, and even if I was outlining, naturally you start forgetting things. And so even if I know where the character is, I have sort of the imprint they've made has faded on my body, and so I don't remember physically how they're supposed to be feeling, how I'm supposed to be feeling when I'm writing with them, and it makes it really tricky. And it's not something that I can really fix because I'm a busy person. I don't always have time to write, and so it's not awesome because I want to write more often so that I feel like there's a bit more flow to these things, but instead I'm a student, so there's not as much that I can do about that, and I don't want to force myself to write when I don't quote unquote feel like it. And so it has been a little bit detrimental, however, because I just can't remember how characters are supposed to feel and where the characters are at emotionally. So giving it a reread was really helpful. I found that I've struggled rereading Feeding Habits lately, not because I find it bad, but because I find it doesn't capture my attention in the way that I want it to. Besides one chapter, which was Land Mammal, I really enjoy that chapter. The rest of them haven't caught my attention like I would prefer, and so I don't know why that is. Usually I like rereading my work, and I actually really enjoy reading my work, but lately I just haven't felt like it. Perhaps because of isolation, Feeding Habits is really the only place I quote unquote go places. I don't leave my house. The only place I go somewhere is in Feeding Habits, and that's all fictional in an imaginative state, and so maybe I'm just tired of it. I am really happy to report that I'm feeling better. I'm not promising that I'm gonna feel better forever. This is just kind of how it is. I was really upset when I was last vlogging. I didn't know what to do. I am feeling a lot better. I wrote a little bit. I hit 45k, which was good, and so I am making progress. I just need to try to remind myself of what I want in this project, and it always meant to make me feel better. It's always meant to be something that I enjoy. But at this point, it's I don't even know if writing is something I enjoy right now for so many reasons. So it's kind of difficult because it's kind of like pulling teeth writing this book because writing a book isn't easy. So having a book that you just want to enjoy sometimes doesn't always work. It sounds nice in theory, but at least in my application, sometimes it doesn't work because I just get caught up in the drafting process. It's not easy for me to like put myself on autopilot, and that's something I'd love to learn how to do a little bit better. That's the update. I'm gonna go see if I can just look at what I was writing. I had watched a lot of Hannibal last night too, though I had wanted to write. So what happened is after I did that, I came upstairs and I like just wrote on the Word app on my phone. So I have some scene that I just want to like take a look at, and perhaps I can continue. That's honestly how I'm feeling about writing. It's not a perfect experience. It certainly is a labor of love. Emphasis on labor. Hello, everybody. It is the first day of classes back for me. Not fun, but it's about 11 o'clock in the morning. I have woken up way earlier than I usually do. Somehow, last semester, my body was getting into this routine of waking up at 7:30. And then I got really freaking exhausted and I couldn't wake up really, like, for my whole break. Like 10 o'clock was like good, 9:40 to 10 o'clock, and that's really late for me. So today I woke up at 8:30. I'm a little sleepy, but I'm gonna go try to write. Last night I wrote about 360 words after a Raptors game for feeding habits, and I'm feeling good about the interaction. So I think I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna try to write a little bit more before class. I have class at 1 today, and so after that I don't really have anything to do, so it should be pretty chill. I'm a little nervous about this semester, to be honest. I feel really frazzled and I don't have like the same energy. Like I already feel like too tired and like I'm ready to like give up on school right now, which obviously is not a great sign because school hasn't yet started. But I'm hoping that with the routine, like things get back into like the swing of things quite easily. So let's just talk about writing. I was not going to bring you along with me while I set up, but might as well. So, how is writing going? Like I said, I was really upset about writing a few days ago. I was super emo about it. I was not feeling good about it. But I took a moment, like I said, to just reread Feeding Habits, and I'm feeling much better about it, and I'm feeling like determined to finish this book in a way that makes me feel happy. And the boys' interactions that I've been writing are reminiscent of like early interactions in moth work, and so that's making me pretty excited because it just is reminding me of like, you know, why I started this project and like why I'm enjoying it. So I am having a lot of fun like writing the dialogue. Yesterday I was reading through some Hannibal scripts because why wouldn't I? You already know. I love that show. I love Hugh Dancy. Sorry, I can't stay away. But it's been really helpful in getting me to get back on track with like writing some dialogue, just to kind of see how different characters are constructed to speak. And that's been interesting, especially since I feel like in Feeding Habits, the boys have been quite solitary. Like usually they don't talk to people, and so it's been really interesting to try to reconstruct their speaking voice, especially together. I don't want Harrison to sound like Lonan, and I don't want Lonan to sound like Harrison. Lonan's easier to write. Harrison is a bit funny, so it's kind of difficult. Sometimes I don't understand how to write humor. Hi everyone, it has been such a long time since I last updated you guys on this vlog. I just haven't really had the time. I started school and I just wasn't thinking about vlogging, but good thing is I've written a lot since I last talked to you guys. I wrote 2 short stories. I wrote a story called How to Spell Alpaca, which I have a blog post on if you want to learn about it. It's about like this woman in like her 50s or so. She's like a middle-aged woman who meets a young mother and her child and reflects on her own experience with motherhood. I wrote it in about 5 minutes. It's like about 1,300 words. It just came out of nowhere, and sometimes those are the best stories where they just kind of like appear. And then I wrote a story for class called Shark Swimming, which I'm so happy about. First of all, I really like the title. Second of all, I've been meaning to use that title for years, so it's pretty cool. I also revised a short story for contest entry. I wrote a story a few years ago when I was in grade 12. It was like my first short story, really, like my first real short story that wasn't for school. And it was called NYC in Your Apartment. It used to be about like 5,000 words, I think. I revised it. If you can hear water noises, my bulldog is drinking his water. I'm sorry. Winston, you're being a little disruptive, bud, but I revised it to just over 1,000 words, I think. 1,700 words now. Winston really is going ham on the water right now. It's much shorter, and it's kind of probably my favorite short story I've written. I was able to revise it to like what it was always meant to be, and he's still drinking the water. Okay, bud, you're done now? No, he's not done. All right, he finally finished, but he's doing some bulldog noises. If you have a bulldog, you know. The story, Joanne, I'll Pray For You, is like pretty close to my favorite short story now. Like, it's really short and efficient at being short. I really like it, and I was kind of amazed at how good it was, like especially since I wrote it when I was 17. I'm 19 now, and so it's been, you know, pretty exciting. I think my other dog, are you kidding? I think they're done, so hopefully no more interruptions from the dogs. Was, you know, reflecting, and I feel like it really shows that I have like gotten very consistent as a writer since then, because the writing back then like was just as good. Like the story structure, not good, the understanding of short fiction, not good, but the actual prose itself. So it's nice to see, you know, I've been a consistently like good writer for a few years by now, and now I'm just really like honing in on the craft. I wrote a few poems for school. I've done a lot of critiques for poems, lots of stuff. I actually wanted to come on here to show you a book that I bought. I actually was recommended a craft book by my psychologist, and she suggested I pick up this book. It's called Wild Mind, Living the Writer's Life by Natalie Goldberg. It's really cute. I was gonna get the Kindle edition, but I really don't like Kindle. Like, it's really annoying. I like digital books, especially as a craft book. It would have been nice. I could just like easily keep track of stuff, but I thought, you know, might as well like get the physical book, and if I really want the digital one, I can get that one too. But I thought I would really like this because I think it takes a kind of a psychological approach to writing, because writing and my mental health are really inextricable. If I'm not writing, my mental health is poor. If I'm struggling with writing, my mental health is poor. It's really, you know, very integral to my mental health, and they're inextricable. They can't really be separated. And so I really appreciated that she recommended this to me, and I'm gonna take a look at it. I think it's pretty old. She said that she had looked at it in her undergrad, in her program, 1990, I think. So it's pretty old. It's 31 years old. So I'm gonna go take a look at it right now. It's early morning, just a little bit before 11 o'clock. I'm just enjoying my tea. I'm gonna read this book. It is Thursday. It is a school day. I just don't feel like doing school today, so I think I'm just gonna take the day off. I might do some poetry critiques because that's fun, and those can pile up. But I'm really excited to page through this, and if I find any gems, I will be sure to let you know. What's interesting is that it's set up kind of like this. I'll show you the contents. I don't know if you can see that. It starts with kind of like theory, and then interspersed there's like try this pages. One of the headers is results of kindness. And so I feel like this takes a really empathetic approach to writing. I mean, I haven't read it, but I trust the judgment of my doctor. So try this. Do a timed writing for 10 minutes. Oh my God, timed writing. Is that what they used to call writing sprints in the 1990s? Do a timed writing for 10 minutes. Begin it with I remember and keep going. Every time you get stuck and feel you have nothing to say, write I remember again and keep going. To begin with, I remember does not mean you have to write only about your past. Once you get going, you follow your mind where it takes you. You can fall into one memory of your mother's teeth for 10 minutes of writing, or you can list lots of short memories. The memory can be something that happened 5 seconds ago. When you write a memory, it isn't in the past anyway. It's alive right now. That's just an example. I'm yet to read it. I don't read craft books. This one seemed really interesting to me, especially, you know, the approach is clearly like the writer and the mind is inextricable. So guys, I'm so pleased with this book. It has a really similar like writing philosophy that I already do, but it's also reminded me of a few things that I should be doing a bit more. I'm reading the chapter Results of Kindness, and the writer is talking about them just like writing something when they were in Paris. And so she says, I applied gentleness to myself. Okay, dear, what do you know to write about? Well, I can see these two women across from me. Good, put it down. What next? There's a small table in front of me. Good, write about that. And I feel like that's such a great way to think about writing, like this gentleness, to not be mean to your brain. I felt like I was failing myself as a writer, and so this is certainly making me feel better, because I forgot like how far gentleness and kindness to yourself when writing can stretch, especially with feeding habits. I get really frustrated, I don't know what to do, and I like this approach of just take a breath. What do you see? Can you write that sentence? Now write another sentence, write another sentence. I think this is fantastic already. I'm only on page 9, guys. This is great. I just closed off my camera, but guys, I just read something. I'ma like print this out and put it on my wall. Over and over we begin, this is good, this is kindness. We don't forget our roots. And the writer's kind of talking about how like you never really stop going back to the beginning and, you know, trying to find your way. She's like, we never graduate from first grade. Over and over we have to go back to the beginning. We should not be ashamed of this. It is good. It's like drinking water. We don't drink a glass once and never have to drink again. We don't finish one poem or novel and never have to write one again. Over and over we begin. This is good. This is kindness. We don't forget our roots. I think that's so fantastic, especially, you know, something I was angsting about in that video that I mentioned is you'd think by now, like, I would know how to do this because this is my 11th novel. I've written like over like 12 or so short stories. Like I have, you know, a lot of writing under my belt. I've been writing since I was 12 years old. I'm in a writing program and I do well. So you would think, you know, I would know how to do this, but no, this book has reminded me like you always kind of start again, and that is fine, and that's so normal. Oh my god. Here we go.
Now connected to Rachel.
Excuse me, Winston.
Gonna get his heart to beat.
Hello? All I heard was, we only have one toilet in here. Did anyone notice? Then I heard something about pizza, so I just hung up. Hello everyone, it is the next day. I wanted to do a quick update and also close out this writing vlog. Yesterday I did those poetry critiques. I took the day off. Today's Friday, but I also am taking the day off. I don't really feel like doing schools. Yesterday, a few good things happened. I wrote an entire short story. I don't really have like a title for it yet, but it could also be The Party. I don't know, I'll have to see what I call it. About this woman who just got divorced and gets an invitation in the mail to go to like this gala party thing, and it's not addressed to her. It was addressed to the person who lived at the new house she bought, but she goes anyway. And so that was a lot of fun to write. It took me about an hour of drafting, but I really enjoy it. It's like almost 3,000 words, 2,800 or so. So I'm really excited. I'm gonna go back and revise it probably in just a few days. I also wrote tons of feeding habits yesterday. Reading that craft book, guys, I highly recommend it. Like, I know I haven't read most of it, but I've read like a few more chapters yesterday after I finished vlogging. I highly recommend it. It's such a kind way of approaching writing. It is heavily based in psychology and the mindset of a writer, like the psychology and taking care of yourself as a writer. And so if you're the kind of person whose philosophy in writing is more rooted in taking care of yourself, you know, not being too mean to yourself, like how can you better like approach being kind in your work, I highly recommend it. Just at least to read like the chapter about kindness. It's fantastic. So yesterday, when I was writing feeding habits, like I felt like, okay, I have the ability to revise this because I had written a scene. It wasn't that good. It was just kind of the bones of it. But I was like, you know what? Like I can do this. Like I have the tools to fix it. I fixed it. And then I wrote even more. And so it was so exciting, just to feel good when writing. I have a few things that I need to do. I still need to submit a story for workshop. I believe my fiction professor is putting up like groups for like a mini practice workshop today, so I'm excited for that, but I'm going to log off. Thank you guys so much for watching this vlog. Let me know how writing is going for you. Happy 2021, because this is my first 2021 vlog, and I will see you in another video. Bye!